Well, hope your day's going well, as it can. Didn't do my usual and think a bit before pushing this button, but there's a lot on my mind. Oh, yeah, I took notes. Still got to take notes. This is another day that the United States of America is under assault. The whole world is under assault. They need to be put on notice. The United States of America has funded this individual to surround the planet with spy gear in the skies, in the space. No doubt they funded him to have enough money to make the best drones ever was. This is just one concept. This is just my individual opinion. I'm not saying any of this is factual, so take what resonates and tuck away the rest. This individual has created cars that have built-in gas mask ability, seals it, shuts it off while everything around him for a long time can suffer whatever that gas might, what that's needed for in the Teslas. Okay, so I don't know. We've let like a Yaldabaoth devil energy Nazi. We gave him all the money and ability and the top scientist. You see, the world needs to know that you cannot trust the United States of America right now. And that's just how I feel, one individual. And yeah, I took some notes. I'll get to more examples of why I say such things. You get some individuals and they don't accept, wouldn't even pay a ticket, wouldn't even take accountability for anything. There are those that way. And to avoid it, they'll cut you right out of your life. They'll end you if it takes that to prove that my mask is all good. So, bad lines being drawn. And if he don't, or needs to wear a diaper president, you know, we have went through, how many times have I explained the opposite? What's said to be water, we can just pump it right back out of the ground into the reservoir. Opposite of universal laws and truths. Opposite. It's all I ever hear from those who are now that either they're ninth grade logic, and even then they wasn't taught well enough to not manipulate, and you know, when you were a child you thought and did things as a child, but at some point running our government we need adults in the room. Everybody I see talking and getting elected in as an official are about, they're running with a mask at least of a 9-year-old. Yeah. And obviously a man like Musk, who needs minerals all over the earth and likes to dominate, and he's been planning for some really, you know, I'm telling you. And we're letting him push us around there, scared of Trump's loud mouth. Every sackless Republican that is letting this happen is aiding and abetting in an attack on this world. It's just my opinion one individual. I got a few notes. I'll get to those. Oh, Bob, you're crazy. You're making... I might be crazy. I might be crazy. Yeah. It's just a concept. I'm one individual. We should be able to use our minds in full capacity, and our eyes and our ears. Because, picture your hometown. If wherever you go to Applebee's, you're in your Applebee's, and all the neighborhood thug, the ones that want to steal your land and that kind of stuff, the brutal thieves, criminals, those who with bloodshed, willing to make people bleed or die to get your way. That's what I mean. So anyways, you're eating your dinner in Applebee's, and group bursts in, starts beating and kicking, and everybody's getting bloody and messy, and get the assistant manager. Kill him. We got to hide the truth. Hide knowledge. You information centers don't talk to each other. I'll sue all of you who actually announce the news. Why? Because he's in with Putin, you see? And Donald don't understand it. He's a tool, for world domination by means of technology that the U.S. funded. While the U.S. funded Israel, whose leader is just a Trump stamp mentality. So don't blame Biden and Kamala when we had an agreement. How many agreements does Trump break? You can't go in one day without, 1,000 lies, maybe more. Don't count them. Got better things to do. But when you take somebody, say in 1 month, Donald Trump's probably put out 1 million lies in a month. Why are we listening to him? Why is Musk getting to do what he's doing when we don't know what it is? Okay, that's my logic. Everybody better get on it who can get on it, or let us know. Because a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. Take away health, take away aid. Don't make the water safe, because I'll give you all my vehicles and you're sucked in a vacuum, and you have clean air and air conditioning. It'll last whatever till the gases go by. Whatever. Boy, it's a lot of planning for someone who's now muscled their way in. He's the top asshole in the U.S. and nobody's stopping him. And he ain't alone. There's people that let him slip in. And then you got these other Republicans. And I got some more notes. Every day I'm going to hear lies when black boxes can still be compulsive. Liars now and untrusted information. Then concepts can be said. Yeah. Yeah, if you're an evil person with the intentions that I have put out in all my little credence levels lately, it's just one of the ideas and concepts, just one of them. My top ones, or I wouldn't waste my time telling you. Anyhow, for that same lack of trust that I have in Donald Trump to not have a day without 1,000 lies a day at least. or his people. I've not seen an honest one speak lately in any of the things portrayed, ever. I've seen some mixed in with some truth, but then it was intellectually dishonest in how they swung it, and then so, you know, and you hear him, Pam Bondi, I think. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm like your president. I'm a little lazy that way, and if I'm frustrated at somebody, I'll wing it. Yeah. So, they come in with retribution to go against, because I told her, how would you feel with this gang coming in, Applebee's? You picture your Applebee's, it happened to you. You got scratched, beat, whatever. Maybe you lost a loved one because someone died in this. When you count January 6th, don't keep going back. Oh, it's pertinent. It's pertinent. It's so pertinent, that's why all this destruction's happening and demolishing out, trying to get rid of any evidence that he could ever be found guilty of his crimes against the world. And by means of himself and through Elon Musk, in my opinion, just one individual. So, I'm skipping, I know that. So back to Israel. Do you think people like this, they can't stop Elon there? Nobody's stopping Donald. Donald's in there running his mouth and using his little Sharpie. But like everything else, Donald, everything you've said, everything you've done, there's the flip side to it tells a story. The flip side of it usually shows that you lied again and again and again. Lie, 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 lie. Yeah. So, Elon Musk, Mr. Happy Bouncy, I can't believe it, we've done it, and gives us his Nazi salute. He's used the best technology with his Yaldabaoth energy, and here we come over sky and sea. Look at my robots, they're bigger than me. Hey, hey, you're the monkeys. Quit your monkeying around. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what your power has done to thee? Speaking of Pam Bondi, you got a 9th grade mask on, just gonna tell you. And I know I might sound mean, and I'm not being, I'm trying not, I hope you don't see me as like you. I'm trying to use my whole heart and whole soul, whole mind and whole being in an honest enough fashion to get above a 9th grade level. I'd never be telling you this if you weren't in such important roles, conspiring with the crimes against this world. Anyways, the discussion last night on CNN was about her that I caught. And, oh boy. There were people that fully know how to walk, talk, chew gum at the same time, and know how to think rationally on so many subjects. Goddesses were in the room. And then there was a couple 9-year-olds. All right? 9-year-old number 1 was Scott Jennings. You know, I have liked you, Scott, and I care about, know where you come from, at least knew. Right now, you're an accomplice against the crimes against the world in so many ways. Because you're in important positions. You guys know that you are. And what's happening in this world, when true justice comes around and exposes these frauds that is doing and planning whatever, I don't know, just pointing out some there's a lesson. There's a lesson about a... So anyways, give me a minute or a second. Oh, crap. Didn't need that download. Anyhow, yeah, Scott. So Scott, what's my problem with Scott right now? Okay, here we go. These goddesses sitting around those boys were bringing out all these real points and concerns, kind of like I'm saying, you know, real points, real concerns. Like, do something. What are we doing here to the world? Okay? This is real stuff for 9-year-olds. Okay? So anyhow, oh man. So how do you pleasure the president? How do you pleasure the president? I'd like to know. Maybe if you're on tonight, say that. I'll try to look for it. And I say that, well, that's mean. No, it ain't. Wait till you hear what he said. He held up his finger and like protesting some sensible things being said, and let me read it. A political appointee, number one qualification, serves the pleasure of the president. Meanwhile, the goddesses in the room were saying, you know, things like, what about protecting the Constitution? What about anything sensible? And that got to him for a little bit, because you know how he could stop it? Like an angry 9-year-old who said, you guys literally have no idea how the government works. As I just described, the danger of Elon Musk, and the fact that not even Donald Trump and none of you know what he's doing to the world. It ain't just us. We're just the glory. And let this happen where the people who could rob an Applebee's get all caught, spend the money. The police in that area wouldn't have bombed the whole city because somebody in there did this. They would take the time, take the money, and protect the people in there and go get them as they can get them. Right? And back to the over there in Israel. We have been lied to millions of times a month by Trump. We've been deceived and manipulated so that now this is happening unbeknownst to any American that I know of. This is an attack of a bizarre nature at a time when it matters. If Elon was doing something forthright, something sensible, something that most of us would agree with, because here we are helping people all over the world. Here we are, we know that structures aren't quite fair, so some on certain levels we need help here and there. So we like it that way. We'd like to work out better use of money, sure. But we're not kissing on you, Elon. We're not bowing to you. And Trump, keep your diaper on. And all of you sackless ones that are letting this happen, you better think once. You better think twice. So, I've heard this, well, Biden let them. Biden kept letting the funding go on. Look what you're up against with people like this. They've asked Elon, ordered them to come to, they know they're breaking the law right now. So they're lawless ones. It's pretty simple. Right? I tell you. Back to Scott and his pleasuring the president. So do you believe that the number one qualification for them to be in there is to, you'll be serving me, your eyes are bound. Yeah, that's what we've been pointing out. It's a problem. They're Trump stamps. Trump, I'll protect you. I will guide you. I will lie for you daily. I'll reverse what I said was true one day and switch it back the next for you. Oh king. Gosh. And here Pam Bondi says, we're going after, they're going after all the people who worked on cases on January 6th because Donald Trump needs to exterminate them from the earth too, like they try for the Palestinians. Even funded it. While the U.S. funded, our tax dollars funded the demolition for what? It could be so beautiful. Yeah, this Riviera, waterfront. Oh, how was it with the lithium? Rare earth. Yeah. Yes, the Palestinians' home, far as I know. So, and from what I know of the Hamas, they were the resistance to this type of mentality. Now, what I also know from Trump is he will do extreme things to get what he wants. So would Musk. He has an advantage paid for also by this plot to attack our country. So anyways, we need to come to grips with that sooner rather than later, make some quick adjustments before they dig in with only God knows what. If the health organizations can't talk to, when my father, he was a Korean War veteran, had some medals and things, and, not a perfect man. He was really a narcissistic man. But he still had a lot of honorable traits, and he had bravery. He would put confidence over even clarity. There's times that's needed. And, but what he often said, the danger, and I've heard him, he repeats some stories, that the problem would be in our water. The way they'll take over a nation is by the water. Now, Elon's been sending all kind of crap in the sky, needing certain materials and minerals and God knows what. I'm just running scenarios and thoughts because I like life, and I like life on Earth. Just finally getting to figure out how to live it, maybe. And look what you discover. Evil plot from a space robot monster. It's almost like a movie, right? But anyways, it actually seems to be real. And if it's real, how are you going to let this go? What are you going to allow happen? The earth moves on with or without people. All right? We don't even have to be here. The earth's it'll start again. So, which way you want to, what do you want to turn it into? But if you think that after all the picture I painted in my yesterday video, added into all the garbage we hear and see, the Yaldabaoth mentality from Russia to Putin to Trump, Korea, the leader. I'm not saying Israelite people, they surely probably don't agree with this man for sure, but they're hard to get rid of because they don't play the fair at all. As I remember that January 7th attack, those people, the little few scenes that came to our news, their faces were covered and stuff. So don't you dare say that Israel did it themselves and so they could demolish the land that they've always wanted, coveted. Land, I see it, I want it. Greenland, we need up there. The Panama, we're going to take it and we're going to use force. Hegseth in there, lethal, we want lethal army. Yeah. You do have Musk making cars that seal off gas mask style. Anyways. And Trump did this. All you little Trump stamps. Some of you are not guilty of what it turns into, but some of you are going to be accountable for your allowing this nefarious thing to happen that you don't even understand. This is a real job with real countries, and your 9-year-old mentalities with hate and conspiracy theory, revengeful people because you said and did wrong things on January 6th when Donald actually lost the election that he lied about and caused some of you to do really a brave thing. If it were true, man, that's a big one, right? We've been trying to prove to you how Donald lies. Do you believe yet? And we all think this is, can't see the effects of it yet in my world. Yeah. We need people leading and running the lands and running the world. And when I hear people, oh no, it's got to come down, so I don't vote in it, I don't do this in it, I don't do nothing in it. I kind of used to be that way because of my particular religion. And people can change their minds. People become aware. And right now we need to become aware of potential dangers and why they're not removed, why we're allowing them to be bullied. So do you think if Biden told Bend Over Yahoo to get this ceasefire done, to stop it, and do you think he'd listen? Do you think Trump would listen? Don't do those tariffs. 25%. He ended up arranging deals that they practically already had anyway. So a lot of it's a show, and it's a show corrupt people have to put on shows. So back to and here's the thing. The next thing went on. They gave about Pam Bondi. Scott was asked, do you really believe she's qualified for this? And because they went over some DEI stuff, these men showed their wrong views on that. Scott couldn't describe what woke means, and its meaning has shifted around, and you guys are just stupid. And there are crimes against the world you're causing. So, he went back to that's what he said, the number one qualification, you'll be serving the pleasure of the president. This is a government official who thinks that's how it works. Independent organizations that should independently do their job at the pleasure of the president. Send me up her and him and my pleasure, It sounds weird. It's not even correct. So we don't get correct information out of these boys that they put in on that I'm seeing on TV. Anyhow, so then when they were talking, so it kind of shifted, they were on the diversity idea and how that's just misconstrued. Everybody still wants the best person for the job. They just want to make it where anybody that is that talented gets a fair shot to have that job. That's more like what that should mean, and it does mean. But when as soon as great points were being made like that, and Scott couldn't handle it anymore, and Scott, if you want to look back and watch it, analyze it, I'm just one individual. It's just how I see things in life right now, because the world it's been a weird place for me for a little while, for some years, most of my life. What did you do? You acted like a little grumpy baby, a little inappropriate, and said, you guys literally have no idea how the parties work. Okay. Read my other line from earlier. He said that one too, but earlier, and I covered it. Oh, he said, why don't you, to these goddesses that actually did understand, why don't you understand how political parties work? How do they work, Scott? Pleasuring the president? What do you do in that? How are you pleasuring the president? I hope you tell us. I'm doing that because I'm loyal to him. You don't know what's happening right now. And you're loyal to, I'm still here. I'm here. I'm confused and scared too, because this is whack. And you can't say that. So you're and defensive and telling them that you don't understand. Now, here we go again. Donald and the whole kit and caboodle of those sackless men. Those goddesses understand how political parties work. Was your statement truthful? Stop. I'm using you as examples because it proliferates the whole party that's trying to take the world in a downward spiral of who knows what. They're committing crimes against the world. They've already been doing that. That's my opinion. That's what it looks like to me. So, this reversal crap, when even Scott Jennings just lies, what they all do. Water would go back in a glass. We just pump it back in. It's crazy. It's never ending. It's bullying. And we see you. We see you. When people really went out and did their work and took it all the time to find Trump guilty, of things that already caused death and bloodshed, who attacked the democracy, the way the country, our government. Some of the people are just fooled. We know that. Still, lessons should be learned, not try. Well, wait till you see our next try. You can't do nothing about this. I've got Elon and I have no idea what the hell he's doing. Yeah, when we got a lot of other ones from all other countries are plugging into our shit. I have no idea how it's going to work, but I trust this technology. Somebody's got to stop it. It's a real show. Thank you, Donald, for all this drama you gave the world. The world needs to be at notice. And what the United States has just done by means of this Republican Party. I will let someone in who will follow pleasuring Donald. Even microphones have to bow to his will and get pleasured by Donald somehow. Yeah, if you used to pause that video and watch Scott tell them what they don't understand, pause it and take a look at them deep in their eyes and say, who understands what? If you don't believe me, just watch. So by the time that show ended, I thought, what's my thoughts? Those 2 9-year-olds had a childlike, disruptive behavior. The other one kind of, I don't know, he looked like Fester on Addams Family, but I don't know his name, so I apologize. Anyways, his mask changed just in one night. The night prior it was different, but this time he went with the charm. He tried that, but then the things coming out of his mouth were about just as deceitful and wrong and childish as a 4 to 6-year-old. But 9 in his demeanor. He gets credits for charm. He's likable. He'd probably be fun at a grill or something, for a few laughs. But government is serious work. World domination by people who want to dominate the world is serious stuff. Serious. And this uneducated, non-common sense side of this government that I find ourselves having today is not up to the challenge of what they've just are doing. This is going to be hard to get over. This is going to get messy when we got to kick your asses out of there because back to the Pam Bondi. Trying to go after everybody that investigated January 6th, those were real law officers doing real work on real public or whatever. Foreign affairs, maybe to keep people like Elon from finding an idiot that lets you come in and have the White House, doors are open. Oh, who's that? Oh, yeah, look at the butt on that little 19-year-old. I like it. Huh? What's happening? Who are they? Did you vet them? Do you know? Are you coming to the tree? Strange things are happening there, no stranger would there be. Yeah, strange things are happening there in our government right now. And I think they need to stop. I'm one individual, one opinion, enough bloodshed, the criminals got away. But then again, they're trying to swing it and press their luck. And the bad's going to try to, let's just do away with anything that can implicate us as being the assholes we were throughout all that. Stop the steal. Yeah, I'm trying to stop the steal of, we don't even know what. You don't even know what. You're just letting it happen so you can make money. You knew that was on the table. That's what you guys knew. Only thing you know. And that you don't mind racism in a horrible way, because it is top. That's the other thing. Scott and Fester was rude throughout that moments, cutting people off in conversation. They get out of hand when they don't have good answers. We're not racist. You're calling half the people in the country. That ain't what she said either. This is what narcissistic style people will do. I know this sounds mean, but that's who's running our country. And we need adults that can do that and protect the people. If less than 1% of our money goes out and helps aid the world with food and stuff who really need it, because it's been an unfair system, we have neighbors who will wipe out, obliterate entire countries. This Riviera will be so beautiful. It'll be wonderful. All the leaders could come and meet here, and we could bring you all. It'd be back to Epstein all over again. I don't know. I'm just one individual, my opinion. But, yeah. Anyhow, well, I did have more notes, but let me see. These notes were on a different subject. Yeah, heard Donald Trump at some prayer breakfast thing this morning. We gotta bring religion back. The gig's up, Donald. You don't care. It's obvious. If it ain't, I'm so sorry for your followers. Yeah. City on a hill, a light to all the nations. Have you been, if you hear what I say, if you hear what others, you don't care. I get it. You can be locked up, Donald, for the crimes against the world. Oh, he wants to build a national garden of heroes that he chooses out. I'm sure he's going to have the biggest statue of them all. Yeah. Make me a golden big statue in the natural garden of heroes. Those people that voted you in, they would like that. They want to see a big gold statue of you. Maybe put a microphone on it. Who knows? For pleasuring the president. Scott. I think there should be a wall of shame put up soon. That's what I'm thinking. When actual law agents that did their job, you think you're going to push them around, you ninth graders? Trump said at this prayer meeting, yeah, everybody knows what to do and what not to do. And if it wasn't, I saw that this morning. I could be mixing it up with a speech I heard him say last night. Whatever, it all blends together. He said these words. Oh, yeah, and here's a classic. I think these were this morning at the prayer meeting. Oh, yeah, they are. I wrote it in a black ink so I can see it better. We all know what's right and wrong. At this point, with what's going on, the concerns raised about our world and our nation and others, we all know what's right and wrong. And he compared the military instrument, Black Hawk, burrowing into the side of a passenger airline way above height that's been kept and maintained for all those decades. He compared it to on a golf course range when you hit all thousands and thousands of balls out there, and I don't think I've ever seen one hit another ball. Who are you talking to, Donald? Why isn't the media also giving us more info on what's known on the swing and miss night before? Coupled with this news, it's pertinent together, don't you think? No, it's not. Yeah, it is. So, But we have these hateful ninth grader mentalities, or they're wearing their mask that way. They're probably big grown-up devils themselves, but either way, same thing. Yeah, we all know what's right and wrong. And we all saw with our own eyes and ears, and we know what happened on January 6th. And every educated person by now has figured out that you actually did lose that year, in spite of all of the ways the layouts of voting is unfair in your directions, in spite of how the bully tactics, you were ready to, I mean, it goes on and on. January 6th, as police officers were getting hurt, and some died, at least one. More, I don't know. I think 3 have died from this, from that one. Lots of damage. That's a day of love. If he calls beating up cops and then letting out the ones who did it a day of love, law and order and justice that got all that time spent on, and convicted you in front of others. So here's what I'm saying. You other sackless ones who helped aid and abet a criminal to somehow even get to presidency, and somehow, because of all the momentum of Yauda Beth, here you are. Jeez. Anyways, I think I've went on way long enough. It's interesting. And I feel fine. I'm talking about peace of mind. I'm having a good time. Dragging the line. Well. So anyways, people like that don't listen. Putin don't listen. North Korean leader doesn't listen. Doesn't let his people have knowledge. I forbid you to take in knowledge. But I'll forgive you if, how did Scott put it? You serve for the pleasure of the president or something like that. Man, really? That would make the system not work. That's how it works with an oligarchy, or however you say that. A big dictator up top. Except this ain't, Trump ain't it, really. He must be pleasuring, Elon. And whatever. I'm just one individual, just concepts. Concepts are dangerous, but they happen when the truth starts, or when lies start to come out. You have to wait for all the answers. No. You can start lying now. We can start putting the concepts that look what it is out. That'll help. We get told water don't work out, actually works. It's always opposites. You don't understand how political parties work. Yeah, I see it now. But if I were a Democrat, yes, I would have to vote against you in every which way. Because why? You guys have committed crimes against the world, in my opinion. So all of you sitting there, when every amount of evidence that you guys ever speak is the reversal of truth, or mean, or just the common shifts of, let's hop to this. Let's get so mad that they'll stop. They'll back off. I mean, grow up. This is all of you. This is Trump. Could pick you apart with your stuff. Everyone can. That's why you got used like a tool by Elon and the Christian nationalists. Anyhow, just my opinion. One individual, and we only know what we know. You'll be serving me. Your number one appointee, their number one thing, serve the pleasure of the president. Gosh. If you follow my rules, of course, you'll be worshiping me. However, you'll be serving me. I don't hardly hear or see my own songs too much. But anyhow, have a good one.